have about 11 of these trees. It's actually a very highly medicinal fruit. It's really good for autoimmune disorders. It's great for your Lyme disease, lupus, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, rheumatoid arthritis. After you eat it, you really feel an immediate response of just a lessening of pain symptoms. And this is the noni tree. And in the States and in other areas where it doesn't grow, because it only grows in the tropics, you pay $40 a bottle for this. And people swear by it. Does it taste good? No. Yeah, it does not. It tastes sort of like
tastes like toe cheese.
I'm right there with Ensign. I actually can eat it. I'm okay with it. Before I went raw, I loved cheese. I loved old rotten cheese. So
it does taste like that.
The noni tastes like aged cheese. So I can actually eat it and have no problem with it. However, you can make it in juices. If people really hate the taste of it, you can hide it in juices.
You can chase it.
Benefit from its nutrients. Or you can chase it really quick, just kind of that kind of a thing. And there's always, this time of year, no, but there's always these beautiful friendly bees. They're not here right now, but always little friendly bees on here too. And we've heard that noni honey, like honey from the noni tree, is actually very sweet and really good. And eventually we will do honey here. And usually with most fruits, it's best to wait till they fall to the ground. And I usually check these. It's always nice. It's sort of a permaculture concept to have a lot of your food around where you live. So that's what's good about Finca de Vida, our farm, is that a lot of the food is right around all the casitas and the restaurant and our house. So that way every day I check under the trees. And that's when the food has been completely ripened by earth, air, water, and sun. A lot of times, if I were to pick this right now, it wouldn't have complete uptake of enzymes, minerals, nutrients, flavonoids, all these different things. So when people pick things unripe, you have to be careful. Bananas are really difficult to do that. There are certain fruits where you have to pick it just before they're completely yellow. I actually tried an experiment with a banana racine where I actually tried to let it go completely yellow, and they all split. So you're really not even supposed to. Right when it starts to yellow, that first line, that's when you cut it.
Good info.
So yeah, it was a learning experience for me, certainly.
But back to the noni though, you can also ferment it.
Fermented tea?
Fermented toe cheese,
I've tasted
yummy.
that. That is an interesting taste, but you can ferment it, that's for sure. The cashew tree. There's a big debate on the cashew tree as for whether or not, what is edible? Is it a fruit or is it a nut? Most of us from the Western world, from the northern parts of the hemispheres, we've eaten a nut. And we've even said, oh, it's raw. The actual cashew fruit is really, because it's grown in the tropics, it's actually a fruit. It's not a nut. And the nut actually lies on top of it. But the nut cannot be eaten raw. It has to be processed. There has to be some heat involved in order for the eating of the actual cashew nut.
To get the nut out of the shell, there's this black caustic layer that is very toxic. It burns your fingers if you get it on you. And we actually have recording of one of our farmers literally lighting the nut on fire to get to the cashew, to get past that black caustic stuff. You have to burn it. So there's really no such thing as a raw cashew.
What are the ones like David Wolf sells and all that?
I have no idea. Maybe there's people who are processing it in some unique way.
These their oranges are a little bit different actually. When they start to turn yellow, is when they need to be picked, because oranges, if they hit the ground, they've already gone rotten. So an orange is another special fruit that you just gotta keep watching its color, and you smell it too. If it really has that citrusy smell, strong citrusy smell, it's ready. This one is ready. A lot of times they're thorny, so you just kind of turn them. There you go.
It is the most beautiful Biriba this farm has ever produced.
All right.
Beautiful Biriba.
We got to take some pictures.
So this is actually a member of the Annona family. Biriba, it's
Cherimoya family.
Cherimoya family, like the Cherimoya, the Annona, the Guanabana, and the Biriba. They're all part of the same family.
Looks like it's very normal.
And we feel like After lots of taste testing, we feel like this is
Take
our
some pictures.
favorite. It tastes
Woo,
like
look at that, it's ready.
lemon meringue pie. It's great. We will definitely cut this open today.
It's one of the most favorite fruits of the raw food kingdom, the durian.
Oh, damn it.
This is a durian right here, and we have we have I think 6 of them on this farm. They take quite a long time. We've got probably another 4 or 5 years before they produce fruit. These are all young trees, but they're really growing really well here in Costa Rica. If you've ever had a durian before, they're an acquired taste. They have kind of a stinky smell to them, but man, they're good. If you like them, you really like them, and you can just eat them and eat them and eat them. They're just fantastic. And it's really a superfood because it's protein, vitamins, minerals. It has everything. Good high fats. I mean, really, really high in just about everything. So this is a durian tree, and all of our durian trees are very, very healthy looking. And we're excited about that.
You know, it's just.
How come you're so
can't
dirty?
There's a couple of producing durians here in Costa Rica. They were selling them for $20 a fruit. I just didn't like the consciousness of it, so we didn't buy them.
Down south, the same $20 sometimes. I tried in India and Asia.
I couldn't do it.
Really
In
good.
Vancouver, I bought them for $40
Yeah,
each.
same. I bought them for $40.
People
We
thought
bought 'em
Jody
for-
and I were crazy, like, come on, it's such a
20 bucks
treat.
is
And I was
cheap.
like, I'm not doing it. I'm waiting until my trees produce.
Well, what did you pay in Atlanta? You paid nothing close to $20.
Atlanta was great. We had Asian markets, and it was 50 cents a pound. And so for
This is fresh?
a durian, Chris, I kid you not, at the farmers market, the Asian farmers markets in Atlanta, you could get one of those huge durians for $4.
That must have been the odd ones.
They were, the
Frozen.
monthongs or whatever they call them.
Yeah.
It's like $5 a pound, $4.99 a pound.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. Best deal I've gotten was $2.99 a pound in Vancouver when they're overripe, and one wasn't the best.
Well, this guy is not going to be $4.99 a pound.
Nope. Nope. And we'll let you guys know. I mean, you'll be members obviously of our blog, and we'll say, hey,
Come on down.
come on down. If you know it's durian, we'll have a week durian retreat. We'll just eat durians.
Bananas are actually a grass because it's going to perpetually produce fruit. And when this racine up here is ready, we'll take the racine down, and then you actually cut the entire stalk down.
Yep. You take a machine.
And you
chop it down.
slice it up into pieces, and you put it around the base of the tree as mulch. And
Here.
then new shoots are going to sprout.
You see the hijos? In Spanish, they call them hijos or sons. And so this son here, and is there another one? No. There's one. This son and there's a son right here. So within about 3 months, this will produce fruit, and then we'll cut this down, and then this son, 3 months later, will produce. It's truly amazing. Nature is truly amazing.
And about the palmito, these are very small ones, but if they get just so like yay high, like as tall as we are, and you just cut the branches down and the heart of palm is inside the stalk. But you can also permit the tree to just grow tall, full size, and then it produces a fruit which is also edible. You have to cook it, but it is edible. And in this country, in this culture, they love that fruit. It's called peji baye. And when you do cook it, we eat it occasionally. It tastes like a mix of squash and chestnut.
Wow.
It's really quite interesting. This tree is called the seiba, and it is sacred from the Mayans. I actually, in my younger years, traveled around like Mayan territory a lot and learned a lot about this tree. That it's considered like the branches reach to the heavens and the roots reach to the gods of the underworlds, and in their pantheon, their religion, they had gods of the over and underworld. And the Mayan population, they really overpopulated Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, and that may be one reason why the culture collapsed so quickly, is because they completely overpopulated. And so you can imagine overpopulated, all the land was deforested, but they did not cut these down because they were sacred. So if you travel in those countries, the jungle there is really only like 1,000 years old, and then the seiba trees are thousands of years of age. This one's not that old, not thousands.
Hundreds?
And yeah, we had a farmer. He was a beautiful man, and he was very connected with this farm and the trees here. A very spiritual person, and his father died, and he came to work. But I was like, go home. Your father just died. And he's like, no, I need to be here. I need to connect with what's on this farm, the trees here. But he came to this tree, and he was hugging it. He was he was kind of gaining energy from it. And
Yeah,
you know
that was
that
great to see.
you know that too from the Anastasia book. She talks about how she'll lean up, put her spine up against trees as a way to kind of absorb energy. And I think she does that with certain trees that are sacred or stronger in their source. And this is definitely one of the trees on this campus that's stronger in energy.
It's also amazing too because it has seasons. And the tropics trees don't have seasons, but this tree, it will shed its leaves a couple of times a year and regrow back like this, change color. It's truly amazing. This is katuk. Some people say if you eat a lot of katuk, it's actually got like a psychedelic properties. So I wouldn't eat too much. But it actually has a nice buttery flavor. So go ahead, please help yourself.
The best way to get this
It's
off the
good.
stem is just to go
Mm-hmm.
pull, and they all end up in your hand.
And it's very sweet.
And they have a wonderful nutty flavor.
Give it a try. Okay.
And it's these are called edible shrubs.
You don't want to have a hallucinogenic?
No.
Okay.
They're so
tasty.
good. I eat these by the handfuls.
Here,
I've
Ro,
never
have you tried?
hallucinated.
Yeah.
And,
Cranberry
and
hibiscus.
this morning, tomorrow morning I'll show it to you. This morning, all of its flowers open up in the morning. They're beautiful, and now they're all closed down. But the leaves are very high in vitamin C. They're really good in juices and salads, so feel free. Pick one and eat it. It's got a nice sweet flavor to it.
Sweet and sour.
I love them.
And we have like maybe half a dozen of these bushes here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they
Leaves
actually-
are very tender.
And they actually grow like a weed.
Some insect likes them too.
Uh-huh. But I find that the different bushes, some of them are sweeter, some of them are tartar
Uh-huh.
than others.
This one actually has a nice sweet flavor today.
And Chris, you've already used it in some recipes, right?
Yeah, I use this in
Mm-hmm.
We
And
put it
juice
in
and
a
smoothie.
juice smoothie. It's so good.
So here, everybody, we've got our pineapple, an organic pineapple. It's a little baby pineapple. Pineapples are absolutely great for arthritic conditions too because they contain the enzyme bromelain, and they're really, really good for you. And they're sweet and a very abundant tropical food.
And they grow like the sun, like this sunburst.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fruit grows as a stalk coming up out of the center of the sunburst.
Right, and this is its shoot
then-
here. You cut that off and you plant it into the ground, and you've got another pineapple. It's truly,
true.
nature is truly beautiful.
It's like a one-for-one kind of deal. But they take years. This pineapple line here was planted
They're slow growing.
years ago. And they're very sensitive to microclimate. So on this farm we have different pineapple groves in different areas, trying to find which microclimate they like best. Oh wow.
This one, right?
Here's a
Yeah.
cacao tree right here. And of course, this is all the craze about raw cacao. Again,
Good stuff. Don't knock it.
It's very good, right? I know. People love it. I'm just not so sure that the nut is the edible part. It's very similar to the cashew. It's more of an edible fruit. The nut is more questionable whether or not it's raw or not.